Well, a couple things this morning. We're rumor busting as a leader in healthcare. In any organization, you get some rumors and they're either true or not true. And if they're
Before.
no, please, I'm gonna get there. He's uploading a video. So Nona knows all. um, and anyways, so we got a rumor buster recently, two nights ago. Great people in Palm Beach gave the mayor an incredible birthday party. We had nothing to do with it. It was in some ways a surprise. It was done in 24 hours. It was really crazy. Beautiful home, had a pool. Guests came pretty dressed up to the nines. There was a band. I wish I remember the band's name to give them some credit because they were fantastic. I'm sure probably on the internet you've seen films of Mayor Giuliani singing New York, New York with them. It was a big hit. But he has to do a show, right? Rudy is very professional. It doesn't matter where he is, what city, what state, what event. He's not going to disappoint his fans of America's Mayor Live at 8 p.m. right here on your favorite social media network. So he did his show, and guess who the surprise guests were? Steve Bannon, Roger Stone, um, Dr. Maria, Ted Goodman. It was just a fun night. And so I don't know what time it was, maybe 11:30 or so. People were leaving. Wherever Mayor Giuliani goes, me as a staff member, Ted as a staff member, we got to lug a lot of suitcases because there's a lot of equipment. So we were getting everything ready. We were leaving through the front door. I do see a man come across the lawn, and Rudy was with a woman friend, almost getting into the car he was going into, and the man served him. Simple, right? Mayor Giuliani, I have to tell you, never runs from anything. This man is an American hero. Look at, he was never even informed he was indicted. He kind of heard about it from friends. And then laughingly, he heard just the other day that they couldn't serve him because they couldn't find him. I have to tell you, he's on at 3 p.m., 8 p.m. He always starts the show with where he's at. So I don't know. So he decided to have some fun with it, puts out a tweet. Here I am. If you have any, if counting votes is any way of the measure how you serve somebody who keeps telling you where they are.
4.5 weeks they couldn't find
Yeah.
me. Gosh almighty, and
Exact tweet.
I've been tweeting them back and forth. I've been tweeting them for a while. I've been tweeting them for a while, and I said, if there's any indication of how you operate, since you can't find me and I have announced my location 10 days in a row, you must really screw up vote counting. And then I didn't want to get the damn thing because I didn't know when I had to appear. So I sent out a tweet basically telling them where I was, and I said, if you don't get me by the end of the night, you're gonna have to dismiss the indictment and pay me damage.
I didn't see that one, but
so they came. So they came, and
simple thing, the guy.
They say two guys. They say it was two guys.
I saw the second
I
guy.
only saw one guy. He walked in between a couple of people who didn't know who he was, and he handed me a folded up, crumpling piece of paper. I mean, it must have been, I don't know what he was doing with before. It was a crumpling piece of paper. It wasn't like done stylishly. And he handed it to me, and he said, "This is from Arizona."
Attorney General.
I don't know if this is a summons or an indictment. What is an indictment? I still don't have the indictment.
Yeah, that Arizona.
Well, maybe it'll be like Trump. They won't tell him
You
what
make
he's charged with.
an indictment to harass American hero, and you don't even give him the indictment.
After he gets convicted, God forbid if that happens, they'll tell him
what the crime was.
Tell you what the crime is after you're convicted.
Dear Lord, what's happening to our country?
Yeah, I mean,
but there was a lot of fake news around it, and shame on them. I have to say, some neighbors did come out because look, it was a celebration of Rudy's 80th birthday. He's an American hero, and he's still don't. For the haters of the world that said, well, he's had a downfall, he has not. He's still sticking up for you, even the haters, because he wants to make sure you get a fair and just election, and that you have information about our president, Biden. And he's the reason we all knew about the laptop and the deals with China. So anyways, on to big and better news. So Rudy has a big announcement this morning, and I want to make sure we can see this here. So I was at my hotel, and I came over this morning for the show, and oh my God, I smelled this great, great Arabica beans brewing. And he was making Rudy's coffee. And oh my God, it's so, so delicious.
Making coffee 5 or 6 years now. I got into it right before the pandemic, actually. And I got myself my own grinder and machine. And
I actually want to get a grinder like yours. I like yours.
I have several different ones.
Yeah.
But I grind the beans, and then I started mixing beans of different kinds, and then decided why not? And the very best coffee is Arabica beans.
Yes.
Robusto beans are used for two reasons. They are used to sometimes make espresso if you use a modest amount, or they're sometimes used because they're cheap. And it comes out as a rather, it's the kind of coffee you're going to get at most of the places you buy coffee. And it's the reason your stomach gets upset. It's the reason you get heartburn. When they talk about the health benefits, and she'll talk about it much more than I will, because she had as much to do with this as I have. In fact, she designed the covers.
Very proud, very proud. I'm not even a marketing designer, graphic designer. Someone did the graphics though, not me, but I had the concept.
But we're both coffee lovers. And so we have it's all Arabica. It's all organic. No garbage in it. I don't know, 70% of the coffee has junk in it. And when you read the stories about the health benefits of coffee, you're talking about pretty much pure Arabica coffee.
Yeah, don't be fooled thinking. Yeah.
Also, even our decaffeinated coffee, which is made with all kinds of chemicals, zero chemicals, we make it with water.
Yeah, well, can I just say a little more specific about that?
Shall we
when people remove caffeine, most of your companies remove it with chemicals. We use the Swiss high pressure water system. So the price point is great. If you think about those little ones in plastic cups with the plastic melting in your coffee, in your stomach, and you never feel right, it's very, very expensive. Look at how big this bag is. Look at how big. The aroma is incredible. Right now, I want to show you. This is the premiere of Rudy's Coffee. Here we go, Ted.
And let's play the clip.
And if I put my name on something, I truly believe in it. Today, I'm thrilled to introduce you to something I'm incredibly proud of. My own brand of organic specialty coffee, Rudy Coffee. Believe me when I say it's the best coffee you'll ever try. It's smooth, rich, chocolatey, and gentle on your stomach. It's so good, I even recommend drinking it black. It comes in 3 varieties, including what I promise is the best decaf you'll ever have. You can order now by scanning the QR code on your screen or by visiting rudy.coffee. By supporting Rudy Coffee, you're not just treating yourself to exceptional coffee, you're also supporting our cause, the cause of truth, justice, and American democracy. You'll also be supporting the Call to Action nonprofit, which is devoted to helping veterans and first responders, so you can make a difference and taste the difference by ordering today at rudy.coffee.
Oh, great commercial, Mayor. I love it. Premiered right here. So pause that video. Go back and pause that video, and you have a QR code. You can scan that. Father's Day is coming up, right? Who doesn't love a great cup of coffee? Get a good grinder. Rudy's grinder, I got to get one for my home. You actually so say you want to make a 4-cupper. You put 4 on, so it knows how much to grind. You put 6 on, But anyways,
video of my doing it.
Yeah. You will never go back to the poo-poo I was going to say a swear like shitty, but cup of coffee again. But if you don't do the QR code, if you have trouble doing that, it's simple. Rudy, RUDY, Coffee, COFFEE. We're doing pre-orders right now for Father's Day or any day. So order today. Now we'll get back to some.
This is the morning coffee.
I do love it. I love it. I
And
love it.
there's a bold, midday, late afternoon coffee.
Oh God, I need bold all the time.
It's bold, but it's not gonna
Yeah.
knock you out. And it doesn't have the Robusto, good to your stomach, cheap beans in it. All Arabica beans, all natural sugars, no preservative crap.
And may I say,
And then, particularly with the decaffeinated, now I don't drink decaffeinated. I mean, look, if there's nothing else around, I drink decaffeinated, but I don't drink decaffeinated normally. But I got to tell you, making it with water like this, it doesn't have a strange taste anymore. It has a much more natural coffee taste, and you're gonna like. You should try the decaffeinated just for the heck of it.
or for your guests that come over and they may have health reasons they can't have
Always
caffeine.
somebody that wants
Yeah,
caffeine.
exactly. I was going to move on, but I have to read at least one story. Behind every bag is a specific story about Mayor Rudy Giuliani. So I'm going to read this one from.
Who drafted it?
Very proud of this, actually.
Genius votes.
You know what? Both Rudy and I are cut from the same cloth. We could never promote anything that wasn't quality. We really couldn't. I don't know how many times, because I'm his business manager, I get approached to have Rudy sponsor something. And if I look it up,
Don't do it.
or if we taste it or whatever, I don't even bring it to him for approval. I just get rid of it. But Rudy Giuliani is an American hero, a respected lawyer, prosecutor, and mayor. He dedicated a major part of his life to public service. In the private sector, his safety and security company helped numerous countries decrease crime and implement safety protocols. You know what? Shouldn't the United States hire him? Rudy Giuliani dedicates his life to restoring a full and vibrant freedom of speech for all Americans. To do so, he has a radio show and an online TV show. Well, he's no longer on that radio show, but you can get him on X, Rumble, Facebook, and many others, 3 p.m. every day.
And he isn't banned.
He's going to tell you the way it is.
Imagine that, banning me from talking about the 2020 election.
He continues.
All the nonsense to the contrary. The first line of the letter says,
Oh, God.
no conversations about the 2020 election. Like hell. Go ahead.
Sorry, I don't like to be interrupted.
That's all right. It's a matter of patriotism.
We have I know, and you're a principled man. We're both very strong personalities, right? We're both leaders. So, we get in a little tiff. But anyways, this will take me 1 second. He continues to make public appearances to warn we the people of a tyrannical government. Look, at our founding fathers warned us against it too. We should have never let this government get as big as it is. He informs America and the world of all things the establishment is keeping from you. Rudy Giuliani could be described as a warrior for free speech. Rudy starts his morning with this single origin, organically grown, GMO-free coffee. Okay, now I'm done.
And how do they get it?
Rudy period coffee. Rudy dot
period coffee. Yeah. And you can, and then if they do an advance order, they'll have it definitely in time for Father's Day. Right?
No, I cannot.
Oh, okay.
About a week. They get it about a week, you think?
I think they start shipping June 1st.
Okay, so in time for Father's Day for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
and who knows? We may, we calculated a fairly large. What I'm saying is we don't really know the demand. So if you really want to make sure you get it, order it now, and you'll definitely get it.
So
if it goes over, we're going to have to do some more.
Rudy, I wanted to tell you about a statistic, and I can't find it right now, but it's about how many police officers in New York, the NYPD, keep retiring every month. We saw a big amount of retirees under de Blasio, because he was the worst mayor in the history of New York City. Big funder was, I was told, some Greek man who's a billionaire. I'm not really sure of his name, but now it's still going on, like hundreds a month. What how can
We're
we
down.
is what do these police officers need? They need support.
They need a mayor.
They need better pay, but they need support of their
I
mayor.
have a guy who was a cop as a mayor. They didn't like him as a cop as a mayor because he was an activist rather than a cop. So the cops don't relate to him as a cop. Well, I mean, what arrests did he make? But what complaints did he bring? And how many of them were correct? And how many were specious? He went back and forth like he endorsed me in 1997, not out of a matter of principle, but because I was going to win. I think, I mean, he said I was a great mayor, much better than Dinkins. Now he says I was terrible and Dinkins was wonderful.
I don't know. How could he ever say you were terrible?
Look,
Rudy,
the guy.
I want to see proof of that one.
Right thing, but he never does the right thing. He donated money. He donated money the other day to help, but then he didn't do with all the protest or whatever. But then he didn't stop the protest for 10 days. He used a lame excuse that he had to be invited by Colombia to come in, as if Colombia was part of Iran. I mean, it's totally ridiculous. There's no sanctuary. Maybe if the man paid more attention in school, he would have learned that the whole concept of sanctuary ended in about the 15th century. We're not in the 15th
I
century.
really, really wish, like I still have faith in people that they can learn from their mistakes. Look at you're the biggest guy that forgives people.
Oh,
You're the biggest guy who forgives people and gives them second chances. You've always give people a chance. So I just wish Mayor Adams would call you and put you on like a special committee to help him, to advise him, maybe senior advisor.
totally unrealistic. Number one, he's not going to do it. Number two, I wouldn't do it.
Oh.
I never advise anyone that I don't think is going to listen to me. I did that in business. I turned down millions of dollars sometimes.
What if it changed? What if he's willing to change? Okay.
It's okay. Okay, and if the moon gets green tonight.
All right. Another thing happening in New York is this cop killer.
You can thank Andrew Cuomo for this, by the way. He's the guy who passed the law, who's made it possible for cop killers to go free. He also passed the law for all those people out on bail, the 7,000 that would be in jail if I were the mayor or Bloomberg. It's Cuomo who passed that bill. I know they blame the two people in the legislature, but the governor had to sign it and support it. And he did. He also had to drop the age so that very, very dangerous 17-year-old criminals get treated like they're babies. So
You want to guess how many cop killers were let free?
Has Cuomo released
42. 42 cop killers. Now, I'm of the ilk. You murder someone purposely, like there could be manslaughter. You get in a fight, somebody accidentally dies. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this guy was the perpetrator. His name was James. Oh no, that's the officer.
James Whittington.
The felon is Mitchell Martin. So James Whittington was an off-duty police officer in Brownsville, Brooklyn on October 30th, 1982. A domestic violence thing.
He was beaten up on a woman.
Yeah. Great guy, this Mitchell Martin. So the officer chases him and Martin turns around and shoots him dead. He should not be let free. People who kill children should never be let. If you're that evil to take a life viciously, and what does it say about supporting police officers? They risk their lives for us every single day. If somebody, all of a sudden, a wackadoodle person, I look over this balcony and see somebody beating up on a woman, who am I going to call? The police. You know, they are here for all of us. And this is a bad example to let somebody who viciously murders a police officer free. But 42 of them have been released.
One of them got out a few weeks ago, a couple months ago. He said, I'm very religious and I'm very dedicated to God. I believe the perfect guy to remain in prison. He can contemplate, he can meditate, he can get ready for heaven. He's got a lot of sins to make up for, like I do. He's got a lot of time in prison to do it. And he's got to understand that in being let out of prison for, number one, he breaks the hearts of the people that are left behind. Like in this case, his daughter. I mean, these people when these people killed cops, they ripped them away from their children, from their wife, from their best friends. And look, I've known too many cops and firefighters that died who were personal friends, and one that was a relative. and I know what it's like. You don't get over it.
No.
You remember it. And for the families, well, in any event, we had life in prison to substitute for
Capital murder.
Capital
punishment. Yeah.
Cuomo's father wouldn't allow us to have capital punishment.
So you don't have any capital punishment in New York? So there's zero. In New Hampshire, we still have capital punishment. And I believe one of the criteria, you kill a police officer. But we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back with you on the new Uncovering Truth. The truth.
And if I put my name on something, I truly believe in it. Today, I'm thrilled to introduce you to something I'm incredibly proud of. My own brand of organic specialty coffee, Rudy Coffee. Believe me when I say it's the best coffee you'll ever try. It's smooth, rich, chocolatey, and gentle on your stomach. It's so good, I even recommend drinking it black. It comes in 3 varieties, including what I promise is the best decaf you'll ever have. You can order now by scanning the QR code on your screen or by visiting rudy.coffee. By supporting Rudy Coffee, you're not just treating yourself to exceptional coffee, you're also supporting our cause, the cause of truth, justice, and American democracy. You'll also be supporting the Call to Action nonprofit, which is devoted to helping veterans and first responders. So you can make a difference and taste the difference by ordering today at rudy.coffee.
Welcome back to Uncovering the Truth with Dr. Maria and Rudy Giuliani. Make sure all your friends and relatives know how to reach us. Right now, we're on Rudy's social media on X, Rumble, his Rumble channel. I believe it's the real Rudy Giuliani, but we'll get a link up for you. Also, Facebook. There's a lot of fake Rudy Giuliani profiles. That's the problem with being one of the most famous people in the world. Now, we always had such a big audience on Covering the Truth, and they were worldwide because they could get us through the web. So we wanted to recreate that. Now we're visual. Before we were on the radio, so we could wear whatever we want, and we still, I guess, kind of do.
I can show you, okay?
Yeah. Now I can show you things.
Show you that. You see that little girl? That little girl stood up at the disgraceful, disgusting, horrible NYU law school graduation from which I graduated. As a member of the Law Review, has earned his way on by writing a note, not like Obama, where it was a fix. And they interrupted with these people during a law school graduation. This is protesting for terror. They are protesting for terror. They are protesting for killing more. Let's see if we can kill more.
How about and killing the children. So what was this little girl doing? Tell me.
Came up with her mommy.
Oh.
Got her degree. Isn't that sweet?
Oh, no, show me, please.
Yeah.
Oh, with a little heart.
Mommy had to work. You know, who would know better than you how hard it is to get a degree with children? And
yeah, I didn't go to college till after I was married. We had 3 children, and we were so poor. We didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. So my husband and I talked about it, and one of us had to go to college, and it was decided that I would. And we worked like crazy. I would go in. I was a nurse's aide. I would go in on Friday afternoons at 3 p.m., come out 7 a.m. and do the same thing on Saturday. So I did 32 hours, which is considered full time, in 2 days, went to school during the week. And, you know, it was a sacrifice because being Catholic, I have a lot of guilt. And
sure Catholic, right?
Working and going to school. And I unfortunately missed a lot of great things with my children, but they know how much I love them.
Oh,
and I did it all for them.
Great kids. Great kids. So the 4th hostage in 3 days now has been retrieved. Dead.
I knew it.
This is part of the game they played on. I mean,
I knew it.
If I were Bibi, I probably would have sent the whole army when they did this to me.
I think there's a lot dead,
At the
Rudy.
very end of the negotiation with Hamas, let me give you an idea of what animals these people are protesting for. They said they were going to do a deal like 33 Israelis for 2,000 Palestinians.
Who would make a deal
I
like
don't know.
that?
They started it.
Biden probably
Begin started
supported
it,
that.
or Rabin or somebody started. Okay. They at the very end, after the deal, the White House leaks the deal is done without Israel signing.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like what shyster businessmen do. And he said, "Well, let me see the final deal." He looks at the final deal, and the final deal had said, 2,000 Palestinians for 33 Israelis. And then they put in a paren. Reminds me of what ABC did to me. They put in a paren, living or dead. So they could have given him 33 dead.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm kidding you. I'm
I
not kidding you.
my heart of
Is
hearts,
that covered by anyone?
No.
No.
I believe that there's much more hostages dead, and God help
They're producing right now.
the poor female adult women and
When's the last
female children, what they've been through.
When's the last time Joe Dodo mentioned it?
No, we never hear about the American hostages ever.
Yeah.
I want to know more about them. I'm
Hasn't he proved it?
dying to know what's happening. I want all of the hostages. Let's face it. I love Israel. I love mankind.
What about the Americans there too?
Home. I want them home. President Biden, please inform us what you are doing to get the American hostages home.
There isn't a single person except demented Biden supporters, as demented as him, that don't realize that his wishy-washy going back and forth, really supporting Hamas now, has delayed any real serious hostage negotiations. And probably, as they stayed there longer, raised the risk they were going to get killed. So one of the reasons that the Hamas always backs off when the hostage thing comes in. Who knows? They may not have many. They might not have many left. They might not have any Americans left. If they don't have any Americans left, this guy should really be impeached. I can't think of an American president who has killed.
We should bomb the F out of them.
Trump did a great job last night in going after him. He's nailing him really well. But he's a murderer. The people in Ukraine wouldn't be dead if he weren't president and wasn't a weakling and a coward and a dishonorable man, and proved that to Putin so Putin could walk all over.
So Rudy, you and I have talked about not only on Uncovering the Truth, but your show at 3 p.m. on X and Facebook, that the Palestinians, nobody wants them. They totally ruined Lebanon. They went after Christians, killed Christians. It's a pit now. Nobody, Lebanon. Egypt doesn't want Palestinians. Biden wants them. There's all this talk that he's sneaking them in on airplanes. Do you know anything more about that?
All I know is that this would be what he did for 3 years and didn't tell us about. The idea that Abbott sent a lot of people to New York. I mean, he got caught sending people to New York.
Why not?
No. He got caught, meaning Biden. Biden was sending people to New York for 2 years before Abbott sent anybody. They were sending him on planes to airports, a little like Westchester County Airport, and an offshoot of Newark Airport. Bernie Kerik caught him there. And I mean, Abbott, I think, sent a very small percentage compared to Biden. And plus, they're all here thanks to Biden. When somebody gets killed here by an illegal alien that came in the last 3 years, you can send a thank you card to Joe Biden because he's an accessory. These people should be here. There's no reason they should be allowed in. And we make no effort to stop them. Zero. And we make no effort to vet them. So when they say, oh, you're being xenophobic and saying that they're all criminals. Well, you don't know what the hell you're talking about because we don't know who they are. We don't know who they are. And if you are responsible about taking care of the safety of the American people, you got to assume the worst. If a border is totally open, if the people controlling those borders are organized crime, they are not going to send over priests. Sorry.
You mentioned the airplane that came into Westchester Field. It was pretty well documented. It was censored from many of you, and this was probably 2 years ago. It's been a while now, but it was a group of 50 underage females, girls, and there are more than 80,000 missing children, and I mean young children that came through that border. we've been talking about it on our variety of shows, on podcasts. I've been on Newsmax. I've been on so many shows trying to raise the alarm of what is happening in these sex trafficking rings. The United States is now the #1 destination for people to fly in to have sex with children. It is evil. It is pure evil. I can't even comprehend what those children go through. But you know who brought credibility to it that I'll always thank is Dr. Phil. I've never watched his show, but he went down to the border and he saw these men bringing in children, whether they were boys or girls. They're using boys for sex trafficking too. We all know about the case where an 8-year-old boy has to wear a diaper now because he's been raped so many times. And Dr. Phil saw, these kids had numbers on their arms. And the Border Patrol was interviewed by Dr. Phil, I think off camera though. And Dr. Phil said, "Oh my God, these young kids are crossing the border. They have no family. They're being brought in by these strange men. Where are they going? We just know we get sponsors and we don't follow up. We just give them to the sponsors." So Dr. Phil said, "Sponsors? How are they vetted? What's happening? They could be abused sexually, physically, for labor." And the Border Patrol says, "Absolutely. We know that's happening, but we're under orders."
May I tell you the name of the little girl? Because I've been negligent.
Oh, absolutely. This goes back to the NYU.
Rose Niger, and her graduate mother was Devorah Niger.
Congratulations.
Siblings up to enjoy the graduation. And in large part, I'm sure she did that because she knows the sacrifices that the kids made so that she can be a warrior and help to bring them up in it, with a little more opportunity and hopefully now she won't have to send them to those awful Ivy League schools and can save a little money going to a good college.
Jeez.
They actually teach things like reading and writing and history and philosophy and art, and not just are you ready to chop off your genitals?
Growing up, if somebody said they went to Harvard, you'd be like, "Oh, you got a Harvard degree?" Now, it's like, "Oh, you sucker." Or what are you paying for?
Are you in favor?
Hate America?
Are you in favor of terrorists and do you hate America? I should also.
Well, look at that name.
Bernardino
Grotano.
Fidelis ad mortem, end of watch, May 26, 1924. This was a police officer who died and never had a marked grave. And a lieutenant, retired NYPD Lieutenant Bill Markowski, did all the work.
Thank you, Bill. A lot of kind people. Yeah, can you put that up?
Killed during a cigar store holdup a century ago.
Wow.
And here is his tombstone.
I think he may be of Italian descent with that name.
We're a little prejudiced there.
Yeah. There are a lot of kind people in this world, and my family members, I can say, take after that kindness. My daughter recently, we were driving through a toll. She paid for the people behind her. Unfortunately, you can look in your rear view and that person didn't keep it on, like paying for the person behind them. But I see every day, I have to travel a lot and I'm on airplanes a lot and I see men helping women. Let's face it, men are physically stronger than women. I believe it's right and just and gentlemanly for a man to help a woman lift those suitcases and put them up. And I see it all the time. What are you laughing at? You making fun of me? Or, oh, yeah, you're doing your muscles. Yeah, it's the right thing to do. What's wrong with having a man open the door for you, having him open the car door, lifting something for you? And every day I see that kindness. I know when you turn on your television, all you hear is bad news. Let's face it, Biden and the radical left have really crushed our country economically, morally, ethically, because of all the corruption, and what they're doing at the southern border is nothing pure of evil if you really look into what's happening. And now the figures of the gotaways, because gotaways, remember, we don't really know. We have to estimate. So there's a lot of figures out there. Sorry, I'm getting some figures hot off the press. So in fiscal year 21 to 23, 1.6 million gotaways, they believe, could be more, could be less. I don't think it's less. Fiscal year, well, the
10
10
years
years,
before, 1.4 million.
yeah, 10 years
By
prior.
Trump and Obama.
Yeah, for all a decade, 1.4, just 2
140,000.
years under Biden.
140,000 a year.
Yeah,
As compared to
1.6.
6 million under demented.
yeah. This guy is ruining our
Traitor.
country. So I met this woman, very bright woman. I really like her a lot, very kind, PhD woman. So you know she's done a lot to get
Jill-
schooling.
Jill-
No. And we were just having a lovely conversation. And she said her and her husband love Biden. I was a little taken back and I said, okay, that's okay. You can love whoever you want, right? I don't care. I don't think any less of anybody for giving love. But I said, well, what's your thoughts on the southern border? She didn't know what's happening at the southern border. I said, and I should say northern border as well. Vermont is getting crushed under this too. I said, well, what do you think about the economy? Well, she's older. She already has her home. She's comfortable. She has no idea what we're like us living paycheck to paycheck and trying to afford groceries when groceries have gone up like 40%. It's estimated that we need $11,000 more a year to live like we did under the Trump administration. But really, this woman, very bright, had no idea what Biden's done to this country. And you think, how can that be? Well, if you watch CNN, MSNBC is even worse, right? They censor the truth all the time. They have the biggest wackadoodles in the world. Rachel Maddow and Joy Behar. I don't even know their names. I can't pretend that I ever watched it.
Oh,
It was lying and hate.
I see
Hate.
I see the clips when they make morons out of themselves.
Yeah.
When they make blithering idiot morons out of themselves.
So can we talk baseball? Because
May I
Oh.
just bring up a few subjects that I really want them ready for tomorrow's case because tomorrow more than likely the cross-examination of Cohen's going to end. The state is going to rest. That means that's all the evidence they're going to present. Please understand that no one but Cohen. First of all, they haven't proved a crime. There's no crime proven. The statement that is allegedly false is true. It was a legal payment because Cohen made it clear it was for a group of things, not just a payment to Stormy Daniels, which included technological services, other kinds of legal services. That wasn't even a majority of it. So when the accountant put down legal services or legal fees or legal expenses, that would be a fair generic description. And the burden is on the government to prove that it's beyond a reasonable doubt. So if there's any doubt about it, Trump, if he's an American citizen, which he isn't, unfortunately, for them, gets the benefit. Is there any chance that Judge Mershon will give a fair opinion?
No.
None in the world.
no,
Judge Mershon was
emphatically
by the
no.
Judicial Commission to have made political contributions to Biden and to the Stop Trump movement.
He should have recused himself.
It is against the rules.
Well, there's an appeal,
No.
but they don't care about the appeal, right?
They've decided, we'll just warn them. They just warn Trump. They're just going to warn him. Trump hasn't violated anything that hard and fast. There is political donations made by judges violate state commission on judicial conduct rules.
Wow.
He made political contributions. Case closed. He should be penalized, and he should be taken off the case where the political contributions create a question of conflict. This is outrageous that he's allowed to do this. It just shows that I live in a democratic dictatorship in Manhattan, run by the Democratic Party as the one single party. It's a disaster, and they've been crooked since the 1850s. And
I hate it.
Crooked, and this guy is the poster boy for
What?
crooked judge.
Nutty. They all look like that.
How
Right?
Well, small contribution doesn't matter how small. Doesn't matter how.
It doesn't matter.
It was his. Actually, it doesn't matter the amount of the contribution. It's, do you have a bias? To go out of your way to make a Biden contribution and a contribution to stop Trump tells you something. Now, you want to go beyond anything to have a fair trial for a former president. You know, millions of people believe in him. You want to prove to them that you gave him a fair chance. Well, they've proved to those people that you railroaded him. I mean, it's the most dishonest prosecutor in America, Bragg, owned by Soros. An acting judge who's never even been elected, who makes ridiculous decisions, disgraceful decisions.
First of all, the case should have never gone to court. There's no crime laid out. And also, this isn't a crime. If it shouldn't have been checkmarked legal fees, it's a process type thing. It's a bookkeeping thing, but everybody has testified. It's totally legitimate, but it should have never gone to court. But if this guy had any kind of ethics, he would have recused himself, but he didn't, because he was handpicked by the Democrat Party. He's bought and paid for. And I want to remind the people, the guy in the courtroom prosecuting had a really big job in the Department of Justice. He wasn't even part of New York, but he stepped down temporarily from his position there to come into New York to prosecute.
Agreed to by Garland.
Exactly.
Just like
Exactly.
they regulated the.
And this is our country now. We've seen healthcare corrupt during the pandemic and not telling patients the truth about the side effects of mRNA. Now we're seeing our courts are totally one-sided. Not everywhere. Not everywhere. Thank you to the judges who will look at the case blindly, not caring who is in front of them. Well, we are going to take a short break and we'll be right back with you.
We're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our MyPillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50% and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
Welcome back to Uncovering the Truth with Dr. Maria, the great, incomparable Dr. Maria, and me, Rudy Giuliani. Trump yesterday was fabulous. I got a chance to watch him.
Oh, is NRNA
NRA.
NRA speech?
Most of it, I love
I haven't watched all
Too
of it.
Big to Rig. I love that.
Yeah, Too Big to Rig is their new motto.
But of course, had I been on WABC, I wouldn't be able to say that because I couldn't comment at all on the 2020 elections. And I hope you agree with me that that's an outrageous violation of free speech. It also interferes in the election. Because
I always wanted to do an Uncovering the Truth because there's so many subjects and it was so fast for an hour. And you may want to think about it for your during the week. And I would help you show that every day we would take a different state and really uncover the truth about the 2020 election. There was just a hearing in Georgia 2 weeks ago, and I have it on my Twitter feed at Maria Ryan NH. You may have it too, but it's the actual courtroom because you can't believe anything in print. You can't use Google. It's biased to the left incredibly. Even DuckDuckGo, anything in print, you can't take to the bank.
Give you a definition of the Holocaust.
I encourage people to always watch hearings so you hear it and see it with your own eyes and ears. But anyway, this hearing a couple weeks ago showed two things. One, there's over 300, and I'm going to generalize it, like 375,000 ballots missing. Why is that important from the 2020 election? Because the locals long said, we believe it wasn't even ballot paper. It was different paper and they were Xeroxed and it was for Biden.
That's what I'm being indicted.
Yes. And there was going to be a paper expert that came in. Well, they can never see it now because they're gone. They're burnt. They're shredded. 380,000 ballots missing.
Dismissed just based on that. I think-
Absolutely.
So
You
I
should
was
put an
raising-
indictment. All right, I'll finish saying what I was going to say in a minute.
Okay, finish.
Rudy and Maria. And then the other thing is they discovered in that hearing that thousands of ballots were rescanned multiple times. So that's just Georgia. That's just a piece of it. There's more information in Pennsylvania, in Wisconsin. And remember, the margins were very thin. So Trump probably did win 3 or 4 states that went to Biden in 2020. Is it about right versus the left? No, every American should want a fair election. If I was a Democrat, even though my guy won, although I'd be very embarrassed right now, I voted for Biden, I would say it doesn't matter. I want it to be fair because you know what? Sometimes the tide might turn and the other side might cheat. So we should secure our elections. Go ahead, Mayor Giuliani.
Well, the reality is that that's what I am indicted for. That's what
You should have been indicted.
Eastman is indicted for. That's what Mark Meadows is indicted for. Our contention that the 2020 election in Georgia was fixed. And remember the Ratzenberger conversation? That's the core of the indictment of the president. And Ratzenberger has just been removed by Governor Kemp from the election commission. And the lieutenant governor.
What do they know?
When asked, is this because of misconduct or failure to act properly?
Love Burt
He said,
Jones.
we haven't had a good election under him since he's been in charge.
Vote Burt Jones for governor.
That just says immediately that phony, dishonest thief, Fannie Ho, put together an indictment directed by the White House and her boyfriend, who you all missed the point of her boyfriend. Her boyfriend was to be the conduit with the White House. He went there twice.
Rudy, is that collusion?
What?
Is that collusion?
Collusion. They should be charged with every one of those indictments should be a RICO case. And every one of those indictments should be a predicate for the RICO case. Like I spoke. Here's Biden in the middle with somebody else calling the shots because he's too damn stupid to do it. And then they run Smith through Garland. They pick the most unethical prosecutor they can find based on Supreme Court opinions. I mean, if I care about your health and want you to live, I pick the best heart surgeon. How about I pick the guy that the highest group of medical people say, he keeps losing lives on the table. That's who he picked. He picked a guy who framed someone. Supreme Court decided that 9-0. So we could get Trump framed. So that's Smith, part of the spoke. And then he's got a completely dishonest Bragg who spends his life getting people in New York murdered and is owned by Soros. So Soros says, he goes, remember, first time Bragg looked at the case, he said it was a terrible case. First time he looked at it, he said it was a terrible case.
Yeah, and then the White House got involved. Do you think?
And maybe they went to the money man.
I mean,
maybe they went to Soros and went like this.
There's so much of this that is common sense.
I own you, pal. Like China does with Biden. Hey, Biden, we own you, pal.
How high?
We want you to close down Bagram Air Base, Biden. But it's 400 miles from China. How can I just close it down? You want to see the rest of the stuff in the hard drive that Giuliani doesn't have?
We have a special relationship with our audience, Rudy, and I want to thank a newcomer, Dawn, watching in New Hampshire. Hi, Dawn.
Anybody that wants to be recognized, just text.
Oh, we have the number.
Pick up the number.
We'll put the number up on the
Well, tell them too.
give us a call. Hello, Dawn in New Hampshire. We can call 46720. Sorry, we're gonna get that number. We got another number down here for 646-573-5177. We're gonna put that on the screen. That's 646-573-5177.
So, since we've taken the shows live, like I said, we have a special relationship with our listeners. We feel like we know them, even though we never met most of them in person. Joel from Israel found you. That must have been exciting for you during the week.
Yeah, it was. It was exciting during the week. And to know that Joel's okay, too. So I thought Trump yesterday also came up, but I think it's the second time he's done it, though. and I really believe it's true, a drug test for Biden for the debate. Because the last time he looked spacey to me, boy.
Well, the fix is in there. Come on. Remember, it was CNN, Donna Brazil. They fed the questions to Hillary. The same thing is happening. I personally didn't like it that Trump accepted for CNN. It's the fix is against you, Mr. President. They're going to give Biden more time. They're going to make it look favorable to Biden. It's just, you know what? What about Newsmax? What about, I don't know, have the Epic Times sponsor a debate? We have to have it fair. And I just feel like I'm not even going to watch it, to tell you the truth.
Well, you know, you remember from my interviews on Friday night, because although we did have a party, we did some serious interviews with Steve and with Roger, and both of them, and they have their disagreements on things, and they both think that it was a mistake for the president to do this on Biden's terms. I have a slightly different view, and it's this: you're not going to get him in the debate unless you do this. I mean, you're not. The worst that could happen in a debate is he'll do what he did with the State of the Union, and he'll act like a moron, an idiot. He'll forget half the things, and he'll go blah, blah, blah. And because he doesn't think, they'll say he won. Then anybody looking at it will say, "Jesus, put him in a nursing home," and then he won't win. It'll fade away. Most he can do is not faint, and that'll be a victory. It's far enough before the election to affect the election.
They're so
The possibility that he could go blotto is worth the risk. Second, he's already lost a debate. When you have to put that many conditions on a debate, what the hell are you debating for? I mean, you're basically acknowledging I'm a demented moron because I can't have an audience. It'll make me too nervous. We have to have.
Tell them the conditions, Rudy.
We can't have an audience.
No live audience. It's because they want to, if he goes awry, meaning Biden, and he starts forgetting where he is and he thinks his opponent is Andrew Cuomo, not Trump or something like that, they'll cut. They will cut that out.
And then he's got people who are not just Biden supporters, but Jake Tapper is over the top, Trump deranged. Can't see the truth if it was spelled out 50 times to him.
Okay.
And
because I'm going to do my baseball.
And then he's got a couple of others that are just the same. And therefore, if you have to do that for a debate, you're already telling intelligent American people, how could this guy be prepared for president? What is he when he goes in to talk to Putin? What's he going to do? Bring in 5 people to talk for him? I mean, so the reality is he's already lost a debate. Based on no president has ever asked for all this, and it's because he's a complete blithering idiot moron. Now, could the debate just go okay? Yeah. Could he blow up and make an idiot out of himself completely? He's worse than he was 4 years ago.
Yes, but they're prepping him on only a few questions. He already has the questions from CNN.
They're hitting him with Ritalin and all kinds of other crap. And therefore, there should be a drug test.
Yeah.
I mean, we should know if our president is incapable of functioning without strong.
But here's the thing about that, the reality about it. There's drug panels that'll look for TSH, look for heroin, methamphetamines, benzodiazepine. If you're looking for something specific, it's a specific test. So anyways, we do have a caller.
Let's go. Let's take one call real quick. We got David, who makes Christian movies, and he's calling us from Tennessee. We're on with the mayor and the doctor.
Hi, David. Good morning.
Hi, Dr. Maria, and happy birthday, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, David. I appreciate that very much. It'll be on May 28th, but we started it a little early.
I missed that part of
but that's good.
The video.
What the heck?
Yeah,
when you're 80, you can celebrate it for weeks.
I think so many people have parties planned for this man. He's a historical figure. Let's face it.
What's up, David?
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to say I was there when you cleaned up Times Square and turned Dinkins Slum into the centerpiece of the world. You did it brilliantly by, in part, expanding the radius around 42nd Street by which the porno houses were not allowed to operate within school districts. I think it's absolutely brilliant.
Yep.
I saw you at 9/11, where I actually lost friends in Tower 2.
I'm sorry.
And yeah, well, it's whatever. And I was glued to the internet every time you showed evidence of the stolen election Russia. Every single time. I'm a filmmaker. I studied filmmaking, but I also studied law at night while I was at the School of Visual Arts.
Wow.
And I was thanks. And I was absolutely mesmerized at every presentation you made to the different legislators. So I want to say God bless you. And yeah, I mean, you've just been great. And that's why the left is after you.
Yeah, that's right, David.
David, my lawyers couldn't say it better. And thank you. God bless.
I love
you.
See, I ran a hospital in McMinnville, Tennessee.
I love Tennessee too. We really like going there to Nashville and other places.
We went to
place.
Kid Rock's estate. That was a lot of fun.
Keep in touch with us, David, and God bless you.
David.
God bless you.
God bless you. That is the thing. Mayor Giuliani is continuing to fight for the American people, and you're a hero to many people. I need to switch to baseball. What people kind of laugh at Rudy and I as friends because he's such a diehard Yankee fan, and I'm a diehard Red Sox fan. We both similarly had the same thoughts during BLM, and when the Major League Baseball got politicized, we stopped watching. It was kind of funny. I just lost my lust for Red Sox. He lost his love for Yankees, but we're kind of slowly getting back. And I'm a very nostalgic person, and I want to play a little bit about one of our favorites in Boston is Ted Williams.
Great American.
Great American hero, a Marine. Ted? Oops.
Run to propel the Red Sox to victory in front of a packed Fenway Park, something fans had grown accustomed to. It was April 30th, 1952, but it wasn't just another day at the park for Ted Williams. It would be his last at bat for 16 months. 2 days later, Williams would be recalled to active duty from the Marine Reserves and begin learning how to fly an F-9F Panther jet. During World War II, Williams served as a flight instructor, but he would see combat in Korea. In his first mission, flying as wingman for John Glenn, Williams' plane was hit by anti-aircraft fire, knocking out his hydraulics and electronics and forcing him to make an emergency belly landing. Williams would fly 39 combat missions, earning an Air Medal with 2 gold stars. John Glenn described Williams as one of the best pilots he ever knew. Ted Williams returned to Fenway on August 6, 1953, and promptly smashed a home run in his second at-bat. "I'm a U.S. Marine till the day I die," said Williams at his Hall of Fame induction.
It's a great honor to play that for Ted Williams. And although, of course, I'm a Yankee fan, I'm a baseball fan.
You love baseball.
And I'm an American.
Yeah.
And it's in that order, American and baseball fan, that you would honor Ted Williams. I was there. It may have been his last appearance when the All-Star game was in Boston. And he came out. He was somewhat
in the cart. He was in the cart.
Out in the cart. I got goosebumps thinking, do we make men like this anymore? And
you know what he said to Nomar that day?
Troubles me. It proved to be true in 2001 that we did have men and women like that. I don't know.
You had a theory about why
in large enough numbers.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. You had a theory about why, because he had to learn to be a pilot.
I mean, I'd take him as a pilot anytime. Hand-eye coordination, the man could hit a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, 95-mile-an-hour fastball, 102-mile-an-hour.
No, it's long
against left. It's
long been theorized if he didn't go off to war, what his statistics would be. On that day when you were in the park, when he was being honored, he said to Nomar Garcia Parra, number 5, "You have a chance to hit 400. He did not, but God bless Ted Williams. God bless America. Thank you for finding us on Uncovering the Truth on Facebook, X, on Rudy's social media.
A statement against censorship. You are. This is much deeper and much more dangerous than I have even explained to you. And I will explain it to you. There are no secrets between us. It just takes time to get it all out. But what they're trying to do to me is symbolic of how they're trying to shut up America. They want to cheat in 2024. And the best way to do that is to frighten us about 2020. So we can't talk about cheating. We can't talk about, and I'll be damned if they're going to do that. They're going to have to put a bullet on my head to stop me. Just, firing me or my leaving a job ain't going to do it. So WABC, keep reporting the news without any information about the 2020 election. That's a news station? Not in America. God bless America.
Thanks for joining us.
And if I put my name on something, I truly believe in it. Today, I'm thrilled to introduce you to something I'm incredibly proud of. My own brand of organic specialty coffee, Rudy Coffee. Believe me when I say it's the best coffee you'll ever try. It's smooth, rich, chocolatey, and gentle on your stomach. It's so good, I even recommend drinking